Hello, everyone. This is Evan with Political Breakdown, and I have a few things that I would like to touch on right off the bat. First of all, we've got the free and equal debates coming up on February 29th on Rumble, and that is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can also watch directly on their website, um, and then you'll be able to see those. They have hosted one before, and that was between three different people. I don't really know much about who they are outside of what I've seen in the debate. Uh, Even in this poll, we got Frank Lazoda. He did not get many, but he got 2,000 votes. Let's see here, where was another one? Went too far. Gabriel Corneo, he got 1,000 votes. So they did pretty good in their debate in that people want to see them on the debate stage again. And this is votes for those who will actually be at the February 29th debate. It'll be Claudia de la Cruz, Cornel West, Jill Stein, Chase Oliver, Jasmine Sherman, and Lars Mapstead. Most likely, assuming that, when they actually get done clarifying which votes counted and whatnot, because, being that it's an online poll, there can be some fictitious votes submitted. There could be, not that there are. So Lars Mapstead, we'll start off with him. He's at the bottom of the list that got enough votes to be here, or to be there on February 29th. He is running for the Libertarian candidacy. He's been in a few polls. He's not really polling much more than 1% anyways in the national polls, but he's there. Jasmine Sherman, she is with the Unicorn Party, and it's a socialist party overall. I'm not exactly certain who Chase Oliver is, so you will get to see this with me. Chase Oliver. So he's a 38-year-old politician. He is apparently running for the Libertarian Party candidacy as well. I don't know much about what he stands for, but we can check that out on his page. Chase for president. So, yeah. Overall, I guess he's debated Raphael Warnock. Okay, so he had debated Senator Warnock, and now he is running for president with the Libertarians. That's a pretty interesting option there. So you've got two Libertarian Party candidates sort of splitting their vote. Overall, they would be second if there was just one of them still in the race. But this way we'll get to, and anyone in the Libertarian Party, I should say, will get to see who they're voting for before they vote. And that's pretty cool. Jill Stein, she's with the Green Party, as many of us probably know. She's doing all right in the national election poll so far. She was also in the 2016 election under the Green Party. So she is running again. Cornel West, I don't think that he's run. I don't know if he's run for president before, but he's a fairly influential person in many circles. He was running for the Green Party candidacy. Now he's running independent after Jill Stein put her hat in the ring. It does seem like he pulls about in line with her. So that's Cornel West. Claudia de la Cruz, we don't have much polling on her. We'll see that in a little bit. She won the voting for the free and equal debate on February 29th, it looks like. And she is with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. So now let's go over some of those polls that I've been alluding to. So this is where we get most of our information for the polls. Looks like we've even got some more in depth for, oh, no, those just go for, all right. Well, at the very least, we've got a little bit more in depth with this. So in a five-way race, we see that Trump has 41.6% of the vote, Biden has 36.8%, Kennedy has 13%, West has 2.2%, and Stein has 2.2%. So they poll roughly in line with each other, and you can start to see how the polls have been going. Now, that's great that we are getting some polls that include some of the independent and third-party candidates. I'm sure that all of you guys know who RFK Jr. is, so I'm not going to go over that. But it'll bring us into the next part of the video where I'm going to discuss why it is important for us as Americans who do not associate very much with the Republican or Democratic Party to vote third party. We actually have had an at the time third party come into play and overtake one of the two existing parties before it. And we all know that George Washington was not for having a two-party system when he was around. And unfortunately, it did end up becoming a two-party system. And for about 50 to 60 years after he died, we primarily just had the Whigs and the Democratic Republicans. And eventually that became the Democratic Republicans got rid of the Republican part of that, and the Republican Party sort of took over where the Whigs were. They had a little bit of a different ideology, but not too different. So that is where we get to where we are now, basically. I mean, for the past 140 years or so, we've just had the Democrats and the Republicans as the main two parties. We've had a few third parties that have won a state or what have you, but we haven't had all that much competition. This election cycle, because of how much each of these two presidents, Biden and Trump, are not liked, we could actually see here. We'll look at Biden's job approval first. We could actually see a potential third party start to rise. And so that would be quite the image to see. So as you can see right here, the average from January 16th to February 8th for Biden's approval rating is 40.1% approve and 55.7% disapprove. And Trump's is not much better. I don't know if we have, let's see here. I don't think that we have any polls easily accessible for Trump's approval rating. Let me just find that out. All right, sure, we'll use 538. They're okay polls. So, yeah, Trump's favorability and unfavorability, it's not much better. It's better than Biden's, but there is still almost 20% of the vote that are not favorable to either of the two main parties. And if we can break away even more of either of those two parties to vote for a third party candidate, the Libertarians would be more likely to break away from the Republicans, and JFK sort of takes away from both, and then the Socialist third parties, the Independents primarily, will take away from Democrats, and same thing with the Green Party. They will mainly take away from Democrats. Between all those people, and hopefully we can coalesce behind, one or two, just depending on if you're on the right or the left, but whatever. There's 20% of the vote outstanding. There could even be more of the vote outstanding if we can break away more from those. And one of the ways that I propose is the best to do this is to take away from highly, like, so for the Socialist and Green Party third parties, what they should do is they should go out to the Republican states and break away even more of the votes from Democrats in those states, because the Democrats aren't going to win anyways. And most of the electorate in those states know that the Democrats aren't going to win. And so if they start talking to people in those states, whether it be Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio and Iowa can almost fit into those categories now of being solid Republican states. Those third parties can get at least 5% of the electorate just by breaking off 20% of the Democrat vote in only the Republican ones. That is pretty amazing. If they broke off even more than that, they'll get more, but that would be phenomenal. They would get 5% of the national electorate just from that. And I would be excited to see something like that happen, frankly. There's no reason it can't happen. Sorry, just going to move that up there. But yeah, so that's just simply what I want to talk to you guys about for now. Again, this is Evan with Political Breakdown, and I will see you in the next video.